to Legal Matters, brought to you by Justice and Law Solicitors. Today, once again, we are bringing you UK immigration update. If you've joined us, share the program for us. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be brutal. And therefore, it's going to be Fanta brutal. Share the program for us. We will soon keep the ball rolling. Life is hard. So yeah. Yes, me kwa mema enti ye kane preko. Ubinim dachi asem ana ubinim echira asem. Me no bidi nkomo bi enra. Osihwe lawyer, wa boame ama sesei menya de mehwehwe bia in terms of immigration and nationality. Sisi a make me kite kromo ankrata, and so every Saturday me make sure say me tune in na metie de whatever. Ade yintia o se ade wo hwe yensu anwie. Sasoso na epo wo hwe enso toye de enye mada. Na batakari pioto ye de mrana eworo. Na se wo pia brewa baby obeto de efa ho ben. Bakufo akohu oso dansini wo he. Na ye ka se ugi bibidi na se woni bibi a difference wo. Asoti asem asososo eti asem. Yewo asem tie ane yewo asem tie. Enti nipa de wonam ho a na wawen waso. Ni nyina ene sen, ni nyina ne se adesua yensu anwie da. Se owo mrenko ade a fatoha ni TV. Ebia de meba beka nyina no sebe mano de sumina so. Ebia na eyensim hunu kwa na meba beka. And so ebia one line be na I change your life forever. And tina very important. As so where there is knowledge, you must seek it. Where there is a belief, be cautious. Because knowledge is power. Application of knowledge, no doubt, no one can challenge that. Because knowledge comes from the word knowing. Belief comes from the word, or it can be derived, the word lie. Because if you believe in something, that means there is a doubt. But if you have the knowledge, that means it can be proven. So it's for this reason that Justice and Law Solicitors, Lawyer Darko, I have taken it upon myself for the past 16 years, to come here every Saturday, dedicate my time and try the best that I can to share knowledge with my people. And I believe that a lot of people have gained a lot of knowledge from the program that we do. And I believe that we will continue to learn. Because once you have that knowledge, nobody can take it away from you. Knowledge prove wisdom, and therefore we will keep going. What do we have for you today? Today we are going to be looking at Home Office Service Standard. There has been a bit of controversy. In fact, this week I had to encourage my client to go to an MP because the application is been pending for nearly 2 years now. Yes. And I believe that this is the longest case that I have dealt with. That application has been submitted to the Home Office and it has taken this long. I have done everything in my power, everything that I can do. But yet, Home Office keep coming back. The application is under consideration. I don't know how long that this client can wait. And to be fair to the client, she has been more than patient. She has been more than reasonable. She has worked with me because many a times some people, when they are not getting their way, it's a matter of who do I blame. But this client said, no, lawyer, I know that you are doing your best. I know that you are not the Home Office. I know that you have done what you need to do. Home Office are not doing what they are doing, or they are not doing what they are supposed to do. And as a result, it has also given me a bit more encouragement, motivation, and also power, knowing that me and the client are singing from the same hymn book. We are on the same side of the coin, and therefore it helps. What doesn't help is when the client trying to apportion a blame, as if, for magical reasons, you are not wave the magic wand for something to happen. So basically, we have got the MP involved, and we are fighting the case. So today that prompted me to do service standard. We are going to be looking at cases that the Home Office have put what we call a service standard, i.e. they have committed to make a decision within a certain period of time. Those cases that are not listed on the service standard, that means they cannot give any guarantee as to when a decision will be made. And typical example is human rights applications. Human rights application, most of the time, you are begging the Secretary of State to allow you to stay here. And therefore, Home Office are not prepared to put their neck on the line and say that we are going to be basically making a decision within 4 months, 5 months. When it comes to see Lawyer Darko, for example, we can only give you an estimate. When we give you estimate, it's not a confirmation. Let's be clear here. Because sometimes some people, when you give them estimate that Home Office, from the information that we have and also looking at decisions that have been made, you are looking at between 6 to 12 months. Majority of the cases, sometimes they make decisions even before the 12 months or before the 6 months. But some cases, for whatever reason, it goes to the Home Office, it stays there for a year, sometimes 12 months, sometimes before 12 months. So we are going to be looking at their service standard today. Right to work is also changing. If you have not created a share code account or e-visa account, then I would suggest that you do one. because it will help you. And also basically to avoid some of the problems that a lot of people are facing. Some employers, they haven't got a clue. That one you need to understand. Because many a times human nature, when we have a problem, is where we pay attention. When there's no problem, many people do not care. You know, for example, you can be walking down the street, you can see someone abusing someone. As long as they are not the victim of the abuse, they just look away. They don't care. But when it's them, that is where they will react. Unfortunately, that is human nature. And I always believe that human nature in our raw state. If you look at the writings of Locke and Hobbes, one of the leading sociologists, even you look at Emily Durkheim, you look at Karl Marx, they will all say the same thing. Human nature in our raw state, we are nasty and we are brutal. It's dog eat dog once we are born. But because of society, because of punishment, because of religion, and because of social expectations and morals, our natural instinct and our natural selfish nature basically gets controlled. So without this, believe in me, like I, you and you, will be picking up the donkey jawbone and be hitting someone with it just to be able to survive. Just like Samson used a donkey jawbone to slay the Philistines. So that is human nature in our raw state. It's all about instinct and survival. You look at the writings of Maslow, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You look at human nature. Our need, the first need is the biological needs or physical needs or, food to be able to survive. Once we survive, that's where we look at security to make sure that we are safe before even love needs is somewhere third or fourth according to the hierarchy of needs. So when someone says love first, be careful. The person is lying to you. It's all about survival, instinct, what people would do to survive. That is how human nature is. So the rules are changing, the right to work. You need to be able to have an e-visa account in order for you to be able to survive in this economy. Because there are so many workers in the system that the employer will not blink twice. They're going to sack you. They're going to tell you to go home. Why? Because they've got workers in abundance. Gone are the days that there was shortage of workers in the UK and your employer will be begging you to do overtime. But not anymore, because you got too many people here looking for work. And therefore, simple basis of economics, demand and supply. When there is too much demand for something, then there is a scarcity, and therefore the prices shoot up. And therefore, when there is too much, too much people in the economy, prices also goes down. And therefore, there are too many surpluses. And therefore, why should they bother? That is the reason why we have the demand and supply curve. It starts like this. Demand and supply curve. So you will see that when demand is going up, of course, the prices also shoot up. When demand goes down, the prices also goes down. That is called the normal demand curve. And those economists, you will understand where I'm coming from. Unless, of course, you are looking at, certain luxury goods where, the demand is quite low, but the prices are still up because they are bespoke products. And we call it the abnormal demand curve. The lesser it is, the higher the prices goes up. So these are the luxury goods. The designer stuff, the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, and the Nyansa styling, and so on and so forth. So that is how it works. So now you need to be able to create your share code, also create your e-visa account, so that you can do what you can make it easy to create a share code for your employees. What I have noticed of late is that those people who haven't created a share code, who haven't created e-visas, they are finding it difficult to be able to create a share code. And I've said it here before in the past, that the old system that the UKVI introduced, where you can simply Google and create a share code, is going to go out of the system. And it is coming to fruition now. Because when they first started it, they created a direct website. You don't need an account to be able to create a share code. But I can see, but slowly, they are getting rid of that. And now, when you go and you Google it direct, you will see that you are unable to get your share code unless you create an account. So if you are watching me and you have not created e-visa account, please do the best that you can and create one. Because it's something that you must have. If you don't, you are going to have challenges and difficulties. So there is going to be a change, a major change from October 2026 when it comes to right to work and also compliance to employers. You know, there's also going to be a change. I remember a case came before me where someone was working illegally, and it is through an agency. And the question was, who is to be blamed? Everyone is trying to blame everyone. When I talk about human instinct and the need to protect oneself, this is what I mean. When there is a problem, when there is a need, human nature will put their interest first. That one, don't forget that. Human nature will put their interest first. And no one can love you more than you love yourself. The only closest love that exists in this world, as far as I'm concerned, is a mother's love to his son or to his daughter or to his child. No other love can conquer that. So it's very, very important that you love yourself and you do what is best for you. Don't forget that. That is a reality. So it's important that you create this e-visa account, because if not, you're going to find yourself in a mess. Don't sit there for someone to tell you that it is not important. Listen to that to your detriment. It's as simple as that. Because at the end of the day, do not forget, not everyone closer to you want what is best for you. Some people, when they see you fall, then they can say that I told you so. So in life, believe in yourself, trust yourself and trust your instincts, and do what you think is best for you. It's very, very, very important. So let's do it that way and then create the e-visa account. As we know, Home Office do not give physical visas anymore. What they will give is a letter confirming your status. Pilito. That's it. And then you need to create the e-visa account so that you can get your, what do we call it? Your right to work, share code, your right to rent, share code, and also prove your immigration status, share codes. As we all know, the right to rent is when you are going to rent a place and the estate agent want to do a check to make sure that you have the legal status to be in the UK, and by extension, you can rent your own place. 2, right to work. You are working, say you are working for Justice and Law Solicitors, or you are working for Nyansa Tiling Company Limited, and you need evidence of your right to work. Then, of course, you're going to have to also put in that. And also, if you need to prove your immigration status, that you are legal in the United Kingdom, and you need to prove it to someone, then of course, you can also do a share code. It's very, very, very important that we do this, because things are moving so fast that you don't want to be caught. So therefore, it's important that, you know, when the ship is sailing, of course, we need to also follow in order to be able to, if you like, get to our destination. Of course, you are the captain of your own ship, but you must follow what is happening, what is going on, and therefore you not be caught, you know, off guard. So if you're looking at that right to work checks and the changes that are coming, we will also be looking at options for care workers when an employer sponsor license is revoked. So many cases are coming before me every day, every week, and it's horrible. It's so sad, because sometimes people come to you and you don't have an answer for them. But Lawyer Dark, I always say this, you know, I have my own principles and I will stick by my principles. I don't deviate from my principles. People may not agree with me, but I believe in those principles and I believe that they are the right stuff to do. And those who don't listen, believe in me, they go and come back. Because I don't come to bow. I don't bow to pressure. I don't bow to any influence. If the truth is the truth, I stick to it, and that's it. So you can ask me something today, come back 10 years time, ask me the same thing. I will give you the same answer. Because there's only one truth in life. And therefore, it doesn't change. It's constant. You know, I can have my own truth. You can have your own truth. But the real truth will remain the same. And therefore, our truth is called belief. But the real truth is knowing, because it's constant. It never changes. So we are going to be looking at options for care workers. Those people who are in that desperate situation, they don't know what to do. And today, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to go through a process with you. Please pay attention very, very carefully in everything that I'm going to say. And what I say, don't call back and say, oh, do you mean this? Do you mean that? No. Listen and listen carefully and observe, think of what I'm saying. You really need to think to understand it. Yes, you really need to think to understand it. Sebe, yeso kwa hifia. Anase udru bedwema. Enye bedwem ne kasa boom boom boom. Nemu bedwem ye de kasa kwa ni nyansa ana ti de mase wo. Enti therefore no ene ye beka empaninsem. Enti enyi yasum na ye ntie ni. Sa wonti ase afra panyini bi ne busa no be busa me explain. Very important. Sebe. Say kase esuo any key enka and just abontin so for emre inside me say no na sebe enya anye bi kura ne de yesi fie nipa ana se fie pete odu na mabika etimefa abebu so any sebe nyansa kasem e de biebie ni mabi so ache yenuanom because ebi de jema ankasa ebia no bi ho no ma onya opportunity no ana so oni opportunity no ode ba bi hume sesi a make so ejana so enye easy wakofa fire services amom the water holes the gunso ne so store ejade beni ana ebeni, and that fire the only one that can put it out is through justice and law solicitors. Like I say, we don't come to bow, we come to conquer. No matter how the fire is, how dangerous the fire is, we will make sure that fire, we will quench the fire. Yes. So therefore today, many to was in maybe be any so crash in now the city was on unti. The only ason went to be Janish, and America, the Janish show on Kwana Woko, by a dark on Minkan. Kwana Woko, you are born alone, you go alone. But in this Babylon, Yenya Banesodi, they say survival. Ewo, Emrakwen was put it that way. It's a higher de mra, ana edi, ana eyadi. Tina Dako, we say patapa pew to way, yede emra, ana yede, ana euro. Na emre piro so no, unso bi kasa bibribea, ana eyaware bonny. Na our bonny was so, ne chiame, ene kasa tintin. Enti ene, ye be bubum, ye be biem, ye be kakasa kwa, ye be bube, enti you assume the tea. Man be shem wa kent. Also benedi ubukra na che bibi ya yemi. Yes, because sebe me matina hifieda. Enti no, me timpeni sempa. Am company sem so. Na aboa mo kwa bibre so. Cause me drew baby no be born any or born any no who do pa chire. Enya fi na kwa kubuza nze, o pa chire say, o kan say, o pa chire say, David. Obi born any chire wa. Obeso born any chire wo. Enti no born any chire wo no. Enti me ko busa ne say o pa chire say, oni sa time no. Ebia sa baby wo gira no, e ho otoro. Enti nya fi no ba be chire. Enti so obi born any chire wa na yesua no. Mama e fe ne say madwene abaso na wo de akọ mpensim mu ne adwene mu na wankasa no adwene ho no mu di nipa na e pa akire enti ene dem de brem na no odin pa enti no yenyi yasum na yentie ni wo nua bia na wa ye de wa boso ama no especially yene no ndisi wo ese bae no nyankopon dom how mudam nyina justice and law solicitors nyame ebie ni amia hu kwan bi o ma do mawuram do mo hu se do mawuram o be testify ukoka se enye yie pe o no obeko because de yesi de yeni hu ana yedi hu adanse na sometimes no ba kufo ko hu a odanse ni ewo hefa mami be hu me enra na esema obae o se me kan kra no ono kra no na chese amani gidie esema me ka kire no menkai ene ya wo hwe me because assembly link na sha see follow me o se mo ya me buy na me ya na me twetwetwe me ho no o ka sem bi kire me na asem no ewura madwini mu to the point say amama ji wadi ana bi say assembly because I could not remember o se me buy no o ka kire me say asade na wo ye no o twetwe ho asa o mpese wo be na se usuro so be ye ana se o twetwe ho na asika na usuro a me legal fee don't pay it. Don't pay a peso of my legal fee. Nemum ade anybody ya. Nini ashta oni o, yenye bibia kwa. Sa ade anybody no besi ho. Afa bi si ho ne bae na na ne ma hye no. O se, "Ey, ene papa yi. Oni de wo ye. De o ye no ogidie wom. Eti let me back off." Na ade ba kwa mu no wiase ne se. Wiase obia eye spiritual. Yes. Edua kra spirit shim sunsun shim. Kraman ena ho sunsun shim. Ewiase obia the spirit. Bibi owiase bia was spirit. Ensuo was spirit. The only difference between other beings and other things and we human is that some human we have what we call soul. Soul enona emaya dwene eye adwuma ebuyefo emaye nyenye enema bi enti obi wo ho a wo ye nipa but only soul, but majority of people have soul. And it's not Bob Marley say, if you gain the world and you lose your brother's soul, man is just self-control. When you bring if you are say Japadi now they are cooking me and na be free. And you know, we will look at that today. And send a home office policy, illegal entry and naturalization. Say the year west so a year west. Case by what's court and saying no, it looks like said judges no omni home office ya adwene. And also see your behe. Now you via me bo home wording ebia the illegal entry ne be rema. Some of the things are also betting to cushion that blow. Obeka said there be men okoye bedu sika. Ayampa. Okona se home office farmer wa usika no yen farmer back. But the reality is, are you going to sit there by not trying? I don't know. It's a question for you to answer. It's a decision for you to make. But that could dear, you am kasa same way. Sa metina na me wo chance. No man take chance no. Any I will not do it. Me media say some more chance and quadia. Na say me try me chance. So be it. I will try my chance. But some people may decide say Debbie, this risk may be too much for me to take. But how would you know whether say you will succeed or you will not succeed? Until now, maybe go through some of the points you can look at if you came in illegally. And to quite not prepare in these areas, said yeah, you give yourself a better chance. Because Home Office have a discretion. So if you entered illegally, then application for naturalization will normally be refused. That means it gives the Secretary of State discretion to waive it or not to waive it. That is the question. And you know, and also so it become worse. And you know, let's remember. Oshe program here na obo homodin na ode amawunu bi na ono so ayede etimi ayede etimi atuni in. And you know, let me take this song na yeba na yedi dwumadie no ahyehye so. Eye nyoma Me penyon pa. I like this song very, very much. Also, man boajo. Me na mo ayese menye ensusu mi di mi hu de maye. Yes, Nana Kwame Ampedu yanko. Yenti nyumi ye ba na afi ye di dwumadie no aide ahyehyese. Man from Pewasem. What's the name of call?
Warrior,
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much for staying tuned and for tuning in and be with me today. And then person me can keep pana titi. I know that most of our listeners are Ghanaian nationals. There are people listening that may not understand the Cree language, but I will do the best that I can and mix it up a bit so that they can also understand. So good morning to you all, those who have tuned in. Mr. Ewuku, thank you for joining us. Yes, Doris, how much I'm a church of baby will be an of Sana etie. We'll be at Dina Dawson. I mean, we TikTok, we have over 1,000 people listening. Try and share the program. We have to be hitting 30K, you know, but the figures has come down on TikTok because of obvious reasons. But if you join in, share the program for us on TikTok as well as on Facebook. Let's go anywhere, let's go everywhere, let's just spread the news. So what are we talking about now? We are talking about service standard. Now service standard, you know, if you like, information Home Office for edi atoho ama ubia or interest in terms of application or the akwakoto Home Office. So basically the service standard is to give a guide, an idea as to how long Home Office will take to make a decision based on the type of application that you submit. So today I want to take our time and I will go through the type of applications that is covered by the service standard so that we get an understanding. Because sometimes you can submit an application, you are waiting for a decision and someone will call you and say, oh, my friend said this, my friend said that, my friend said that. The friend hasn't got any clue about Home Office service standard, yet they are polluting someone's mind for the person to be calling you, hassling you with no, you know, strong reasons as to why such a phone calls could be made to lawyer's office, for them to waste their own time, waste the lawyer's time as well. I'm not saying that don't call your lawyers, of course. You can call your lawyers, but let's also, you know, see that the lawyer's time is very, very vital. Sometimes he needs that time to help someone in need. And if your call is not that necessary, then of course, I don't think it's, you know, worth making that phone call, because that time that the lawyer is supposed to use to help someone who is in serious need, that time will be used to talking to you, repeating the same thing and over and over and over, because a friend who hasn't got a clue is making comparison to her application, which she did about 30 years ago, comparing it to the year 2026. Person may have submitted application in 1996 and the person was able to get a decision perhaps within a month or two. And the person is now calling a friend in 2026, comparing hers. Oh, when I submitted my application, it only took 2 months. Why is it that your case is taking so long? Maybe you should ring the lawyer. Maybe the lawyer is not chasing up. Oh, my lawyer would have chased up. The lawyer is not serious. That negative thoughts. Because at the end of the day, we should remember that most people, when they go to the lawyers, the sooner the lawyer finishes the case, the sooner the lawyer can actually move on. So it's in the lawyer's interest as well for every case to go smoothly and, you know, effectively, so that they can move on to something else. You know, so there is no way that a lawyer will simply just sit there and praying that when his cases goes to the Home Office or through the court process, it stays there forever. No, it is not. It's in his, it is not in his interest. So that is how it is, and therefore it's important, vital, that, you know, when we are giving information to people, we give the right information. Because by not giving right information, you are in effect undermining the lawyer and also wasting the lawyer's time as well as your friend's time. In your head, you might think that you are doing him or her a favor, but you are making him panic. You are causing, you know, fear and panic for no good reason. You know, so it's important that we understand the politics about service standards. And today I'm going to go through and talk a bit about applications that falls within service standards and how long it takes for the Home Office to make decisions. So this is just a guide. So don't take this as the strict rule that, oh, Home Office said that they will make a decision within 45 weeks. Why has it taken 5 weeks and 1 day? This is just a guide. And normally they would say that as long as there are no complications, they aim to make decisions within 45 weeks, whatever the case may be. So let's look at service standards. They have family, customer service standards. Let's see what they say. This was published on 8th of September 2025. So, we have family applications. Let's pay attention to this very, very carefully. Adult coming to be cared for by a relative. That's adult dependent relative application. Home Office says that if you are inside the United Kingdom, they aim to make decisions within 8 weeks from the date of the fingerprint, not from the date of the application. Let's pay attention to this. If you are outside the United Kingdom, they aim to make decisions within 12 weeks. If you are a child applying to join your parents, they aim to make decisions if you are within the UK 8 weeks. If you are outside the UK, it's 12 weeks. If you are a parent, if you are making an application as a parent of a British child inside the United Kingdom, no service standard. There is no commitment as to when they will make a decision. Unless, of course, you apply for express service or a priority service. And we know a priority service is not free. You have to pay 1,000 shoppable pounds to get a priority service. And a priority service, normally within 3 days, within 72 hours, you will get a decision from the day that you do your fingerprint. If you are outside the United Kingdom, they aim to do this within 12 weeks. If you are applying as a spouse on a private life, minimum income and English tests are not required. If you are from within the United Kingdom, there is no service standard. And if you are applying from outside the United Kingdom, there is no service standard. So the ones that I have mentioned that there is no service standards, it makes no sense and there is no point to be bombarding your lawyer with relentless telephone call leading to harassment because there's no service standard. And of late, I mean, someone was bothering me. In the end, we got an MP involved. And in the end, they wrote to the MP that there is no service standard. You should check online. And that they will make a decision as soon as they can. And true to their word, they did not bother. So for me now, what I'm advising people is, look, as I cannot give any guarantees, Home Office are not giving any guarantees. If you want to travel, if you need your passport, your visa for work purposes and so on and so forth, then it's worth investing in that £1,000 because you have your peace of mind. It goes in within 3 days. After you've done your fingerprint, you will get your decision. So it's very, very important that we do what? That we take this in mind. I am not saying that simply just go and pay, but what I'm saying is, if you know that you will need it for something else, you need to travel, there is no point going to pay a standard service and expecting them to fast track it and do it as an express service. No one is going to do that. And therefore, we need to understand when it comes to family applications, some of them, they have given an indication. Majority of them, they do not care. There is no indication. So that is the family application. Let's look at student application. Student application. Child student visa 8 weeks from inside, outside 3 weeks. Student visa 8 weeks from inside, 3 weeks from outside. study English in the UK on a short-term basis. If you are inside, it is not available. If you are outside, it is 3 weeks. Settlement applications. When it comes to settlement applications, Home Office says that if you're a domestic worker and you are applying for settlement, inside the UK is 6 months, outside the UK is not available. Global Talent, Tier 1 Entrepreneur Investor Visa, 6 months if you are inside the United Kingdom. If you are outside, it's not available. If you've been living here in the UK for 10 years or more, that it means you are making an application on the basis of long residency, lawful long residency basis. You are looking at 6 months from within the UK. Outside is not available. If your partner has died, so for example, you came in on a sponsor visa, a partnership visa, and whilst you are in, your partner has kicked the bucket, and if they have kicked the bucket, you can put in an application on the basis that your partner has died. And I will just, make one observation I want to share with you. And I think I've said this on here before. I'm going to repeat it again because sometimes there's a lot of confusion going on within our communities. This is a case that obi every Ghana buy. Amimiana me be boy nipa no mani visa no e buy. Now though na oni nipa no aware. Me pese meka gender said they are too obvious. Enti nipa ni free Ghana e buy no. Na sebe sponsor no ne ho edodo no. Enti no enipa ni free Ghana e buy no. Na sponsor no enye adwuma enti na yentimi meet financial requirement no ana ne benefits so anu oje no na okikambuma na emfa basically enti say your application say obani kunu ho na say ne yire ho as a spouse, then in that case no application you be refused on the basis of not being able to meet the financial requirement. So we then decided say any obeba instruction enti ampa so the application ne boy ema ekromwa aban no ehu ne mobo ema ne instruction visa ese onfambre kromwa na odi bewura mu wie no na che say ne sponsor no epese otinem enti na eno so be adako me ne trans e bo point se fa ho adwene ala de aka no ye de nyame asem. Ewom se obi the visitors visa ba emrane say oye application ye si refuse no. Na mom say exceptional circumstances bi ho no ma utimi plead outside the immigration rules. Enti enonti no ye ko plead outside the immigration rules. And abane so came home mobo so betina ha hwe sponsor ne dia me ma o enkrata ni bi na wetimi dia tena aye ahwe sponsor no. Enti the story ne say enye spousal visa ne de ma no. Nemum yamane leave to remain outside of the immigration rules. Enti na sponsor ni free mo no na chese ne na fofo no mo nam etu guna sum o eso koji indefinite because my thesis se ukuna wu na sa oyire wu a ona do ba enkwa de se ma indefinite. Yes, it is true. Say the ma visa ne se Nigeria na se ni kru dia, that is true. Nemum wa ba yan fa ma ne se Nigeria na se ni kru ne true. Enti ensem no ye busa ye musabu ye obu ho a ote ye na no de ahye ne kon no so ka de ni de na okasa te say the lawyer the kronim de o ye 777 tell my lawyer ni was law school all to mining all to gold all to bauxite the manganese no na ebia say ni pay ote tokura no edua cashew nut and so ene de 77 ma no de sumi na so oso be kire lawyer no medjuma enti say adebu na se nye wadwuma ye be hye mo aya ye ka ho asema ye very careful. Ama na damfu yi etie ema atutu nsem gu nipa ya sum sama ese nipa yi ene age ne nsem ne nkrato de baaye asai adam hu no ye mobo no se lawyer kabiti wasema how ne koden na me komu nyina ka ma ne sa madamfu a oso ojagu mu chinchi madwene se madwene no ene kra me frɛ na wonfa sese me hu de me ye me ho. Same pakia ko fie o same tina han mo nyankopon kwa na onim ana eja first na ne so nsim hunu so meka che se be adwiri ntimi mu ano enti baabi a chichire aboa no ma se baabi esane no ehwa na chichire no na se hwa na esane no ti baabi o de ko ya ebu aka ne sim no nko nye sort ni out justice and law yen san sim hunu nye so bi ye jai yen so bi mu so da because so buy the kre ne be adwuma se on pen kware no na so pentra go and listen eyi ya no afa anyi yi so stay there make sure say you whatever because empany for say obi mehu emobi mekeka very very important na ko ba bi na so bi ka asempa chirewa na wati eno ne bebo eno nti no say ukunu anasa wo yire wu na say o the spousal visa ne ti kromu adia then in that case you can apply for indefinite and also so your application from within the UK it can take up to 6 months and outside is not available. If your relationship ended because of domestic violence, obi owa ye di na bakromu ana ni kura na se ne yere e di na suma na ni football ana oburu mu sa obu a odakra na ne de camera ko gina ne so ni e ka na picture obu a wote adwuma na ne yere ana se ni kura e bu the spy na ofi adwuma be fi obu sa se no ne mema se ne kasa na so ne ma se ne kasa ai na so ko bi na no kasa what do you mean and how I just throw it ya shele ho ye de bro ana e ku no physical violence obi also economic violence na adwuma o ye kran o ye adwuma na be ma na se ma me na tie ska so just why me say slave e demo osu e dem e koso na mafo nkasa enti esem dey because so you're victim of domestic violence and also so your application now it can take up to 6 months. Innovator visa 6 months. No time limit. Ebia we indefinite ayira people say we another application. Now time limit, no time limit application and also so 6 months. Partner, parent or child or other relatives settled in the UK 6 months. Private servant in a diplomatic household 6 months. Private life, what we promote 20 years. And I say, oh, serious medical condition, you build private life in the UK and also 6 months. Refugee or have humanitarian protection or discretionary leave, once again 6 months. You represent an overseas business and also 6 months. Returning to the UK, not available from UK, but outside is 3 weeks. Scale up worker visa 6 months, not available outside. Served in the armed forces 6 months. And tier 2, international sports person or skilled worker visa. Once again, you are looking at 6 months from within UK. Outside from within UK, outside the UK is not available. Turkish worker or business visa 6 months, outside not available. UK ancestry visa 6 months. So as you can see the pattern. You know, most of the applications that I have just mentioned, you look at the turnaround time, you are looking at 6 months. So now let's look at visitors visa and transit visas. Direct airside transit visa, not available from within the UK but outside it takes 3 weeks. Marriage visitor, not available inside the UK but outside it takes 3 weeks. Standard visitor, 8 weeks from inside the United Kingdom, outside it takes 3 weeks. Visit in transit visa, once again, inside the UK not available, outside the UK it takes 3 weeks. Visit the UK in a Chinese tour group, not available from within the United Kingdom, but it takes 3 weeks from outside the United Kingdom. So as you can see, not all the application is covered by service standard. Some of it is covered, some of it is not covered. Now let's look at work visa and service standard. So we have long-term work and short-term work. Health and social work visa, inside 3 weeks, outside 3 weeks. And as you know, health and social work visa from outside now these days is not there anymore. International sports person visa, 8 weeks from inside the UK, 3 weeks from outside. Minister of Religion visa tier 2, 8 weeks inside, 3 weeks outside. Scale-up workers visa, 8 weeks, 3 weeks inside and outside. Skilled worker visa, 8 weeks, 3 weeks. Senior or specialist worker visa, 8 weeks and then 3 weeks. And then we have the Ukraine type of visa. Those who want to come in, they can apply to come in because of the war that are going on in Ukraine. That is what they say. So Ukraine visa, you're looking at 3 weeks whilst you are outside the United Kingdom. So yes, Ramo, me shadana be program we. Ubi ohonoma otonya to was here can no be so jegu, no be so jegu. Ubi ama blood pressure costro amane panic. Hey, what did the acha papa? Bra kwame kwa any day last 2 weeks and they say abano. Hey, what did I still am I? Yako do yakoya any day 4 weeks ago, and I'll be. And I dear with a city working. Obi o home pa, we need the type of application. It will be an no kasasa. We beg. Yenyan to was here. Now, Obi application demand. Your money motivation is a be rather than say we are ever can be a man too. And no, and ya dear a boa and tebesre. Yenyan to was here now, intimate more union. Now, almost so intimate visa maybe. We don't want a situation Obi nya visa and so no kwakodeji because no a papa in sa yes na emwa nti ebesremo ye hye so service standard cases home office area to say omo requirement on bed on betting aye decision within certain frame of mind. Okay, so let me just take water to drink, and then when we come back we continue.
Baby,
Susan Way a year a subontin be this year and pa. So Obinimwa and Ofewa Aqua. Entino, young Coso, na yenye ya famudie. Yemreswan echo, Sa Pepe. Right to work checks are changing from October 2026. Here, I am saying Union be more very careful, especially Union more construction industry. Very, very, very important. I say, be careful. Be careful. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because normally, union be 80 companies. Now, on my contract, I will building sites. Now, almost also offer contractors, like subcontractors, to work for them. Now, say the yenitiano, and sometimes a rewo, and I say a humobro. Yes, that's the word. A humobrunti. Ebiana we show in your gun and ebi. And a man kuyisa, tozo peso ye 1 or 2 binaja, once in your do DBD. Kakra ubidi, ubidi she. What you can babru chili, said the kind. Susan Way a year. A obedition. Obedition, and so a brochility 777. A babaye and SMP. And you may a binimo until la sulala, Anna Abia also or the how far. Into construction sites were quite shahono. Ebia unia enya contract also amanibia oye. Ebia humobrinti on also paperwork and one shutdown code details. Ebio code details to cry now on him so we there. Yinchini, no problem. Need the say Jumani yae. Now esi who se kruma se dem ran ye Juma. And tis a one farm raso them raining nyawa. A krumwa, a dear bakwa kruma. Emrani nyawa, there's no sympathy. There is no mercy for the cripple. Say Emrani so woman. Massa. A new biddy pa. And when Tino, I am yashini. I want him to pee. And he said, any panel air ye Juma Nasem Remono, winning crato the year Juma. Emrani say ye chise any pana. As the law stands now, dear, or didn't buy a money by ye, you must send money be responsible. And to the making us anything, me money tough on the NTRC. Bia, me hey justice and law solicitors. Me ye more construction site. And I can justice and law solicitors, me media. Bia menya contracts. Bia. Brixton Park and a magic contract from the council. As far as the council is concerned, how many men never contract into a Jumano, a kwame me first why you want him. The money so may a Jumano and you want him. Omo dia ne say me justice and law amagye our contract no. I have to do it and do it well. Full stop. Now imagine say justice and law makofa obi a oye illegal. Ese omo ameni enye adwuma no. Ni akwa kwachi say nipa no. Ebia saa da no kojo covid bone etiba kojo eba bone a woso etibone che. Ono kwan ba ya ne aba beche no. Ye be che no. After me justice and law, I want to run away from that responsibility. Person me chere say e council for na adwuma inti na council for na fault. Me was so the council ni any mini any ye fe say Kofi Baboni any contract bia. Kofi Baboni kra no obi omuhu ne kra da. Enti why say e be council ni fault? Enti there has been some confusion whereby everyone tries to blame everyone. And therefore, from October, air Canada, government, as some renemu kakra, Section 15 of the Immigration and Asylum and Nationality Act of 2006. Now, Border Security, Asylum and Immigration Act of 2005. And the Babi Shim say, from 1st of October, air Canada, it matters not. Obi biara. Or what site was a special. Say council in party also have to make sure say anyone that works in their sites are also sound. And that means he say no say me justice and law me the adwuma mawo. O Daniel akoto jatabu. Say the adwuma mawo. Council no so check say o Daniel utwe clean. And yes asemba pe so ye betwe mo wura bi. Now, a fine of £60,000 can be imposed. And today, seven years a woman says sometimes super so boy. No mom, media self-preservation comes first. And I believe in that principle. No one can convince me otherwise. If we are saying Obiagin and home face, Obiwa catch or say, or Gina won't say any honor, catch us and miss who, or boy, or dadao. Even a Jenkwana cry Jesus, or by ya mufo me and ho chere no. Was it a jay, Kibinya can pare me. Or numpa, no or ya way, as or the name qua a baby chaswama with name, many wono. A 2 dear they know Kim. I think Kibinya can pare me. Now, summer, if you look I say, Emperor, Nembra me so. When ya banny the old tibeji, and Tisana eti. And to never show. Money very careful out there because you see if you can see him for many abreko. I don't know who say it is also working for them because a lot of people are being arrested and they are also making a lot of money in this respect. So the next one, Home Office policy refusing citizenship to refugees who entered the UK illegally. The judges have found it to be lawful. Sa illegal entry and naturalization, judges, another fresh case, court. Judges say home office policy no a lawful or may refuse or may refuse. And he says, dear, in my day, say, oh, such application as well prepare him. As we are wow, now making sure say you send more evidence than you will normally send. Eti ebanesana edena ewosewoye. Edi documents na ese wo send. Lawyer Darko, matenase ahwe niamam, mahwenta krem, mehu se enema bi wo ho a ese change siresi eniama. Ami fi se ebetimi amboa ye nuanum bi. Enti ene me ba be boboso. Enema bi a usu betimi aye a sebe ebetimi ede asumdue aye de abro. Because over illegal entry, unfortunately, Lawyer Darko, there's nothing that I can do about it. You came in illegally, and it's a problem. It's a problem. It has become a very big problem. But what can I say? We are still looking for medicine for this, and one is hoping that one day, the aggression will go down. So, what am I saying in this respect? Say ube illegal. Emrani say your application for citizenship will normally be refused. And that means that it gives the Home Office the discretion to grant even if you came in illegal. Very, very important. Even if you came in illegal. And you know, say, oh, kwakwaya application we are a very, very important so be prepare ye. Now be more evidence than before. And therefore, no, you could put in grounds of exceptional circumstances. And exceptional circumstances, no, I will say you look at the number of years watina ekrumwana. The longer you have lived here, the better. And especially if you don't have any breach or you don't have any criminal record. Number 2, long-term compliance with immigration rules and immigration laws. If you have got indefinite, you need to bring all your evidence of your indefinite and also all applications leading to the grant of indefinite. Very important. Continuous employment and tax compliance, and also employment history and national insurance contribution and tax history. If you have paid a lot of money into the system, quote the amount in total. It all helps. Family life, if you have established any family life in the United Kingdom, you have children, you have a partner, and so on and so forth. Community involvement. Maybe you've done some charity work, they can write a supporting letter and confirm your good character. Community involvement. Maybe you are active in community activities, by all means. No criminal record. And even if you have one, it has been deemed to be spent a long time ago. If, for example, your illegal entry, you came by, say, you are a victim of trafficking, then of course you need to say that. If you're a refugee, you are granted a refugee status, by all means you need to also say that. If you have complied with UK immigration reporting rules for so long, all that is a factor that you could raise. Also, in terms of good character, you go to church, being involved in charity event. People know you, you have other professionals. They will know you, they can all write letters in support of your application. Evidence of good character, you know, if you have been given a title, OBE, MBE, whatever the case may be, all that can come into play. And then we are going to for why it will be unreasonable for your application to be reviewed. Once again, you can get your children, your family members, anyone that you know to write a supporting letter and attest to your good character. Hopefully, if you are able to build up these evidences, then of course, you can also make an application and argue on these points. Very, very, very important. So, having entered the UK illegally, that does not mean that if you submit an application, it will automatically be refused. That is not the case. It simply says that it will normally be refused, not automatically be refused. And for me, it is worth making such an application if you are able to satisfy all the other requirements. Because if you don't, you will never know, you see. And then people can say, one surah wundi. One surah on your day, wundi, usura udi. And you know, sana eti. Now let's look at the last one, and then we can bring the program to an end. Options for care workers when an employer sponsor license is revoked. Yenyanumpi yamomo warnings as a sponsor license, you know, either is going to be revoked or it has been revoked. Now they are in limbo. They don't know what to do. They are very, very confused. And it's unfortunate that they find themselves in that situation. Strange enough, now to get a skilled work is almost impossible. You are not getting it. So what are you going to do? COS is not available. It's simply not there. And therefore, what can you do under these circumstances? The government recognizes that some people are in limbo. And as a result, there is an organization that could be able to help the individual to match them up with companies that perhaps may be recruiting in the United Kingdom, who may be able to offer them sponsorship. So the Department of Health and Social Care has published guidance on the support available to displaced workers. And they say this support is only in place for workers in England on health and social worker visas. Health and care worker visas. And therefore the idea is to help these individuals. What they say is that if your sponsorship license is at risk, you need to find a new sponsor. But is it that easy? It's not easy to get someone to sponsor you. And therefore, a lot of people are in limbo. And therefore, they don't know what they are doing. Because it's not easy just to get a sponsorship job. As much as ScottishJobs.com and UKJobs.com are helping people to secure jobs, still, a lot of people are really struggling. So you should bear that in mind. Now the question is, if your COS is at risk, can you switch your visas? I had a person in niye. Ebimu ade asho ma dwene mu say, especially say we dependent on a COS. Ebia woni ukuru bi na baaye, anase ono yiri bi na baaye. Mobile no ebia you say sponsorship license. When your letter say they are going to revoke it due to stress that e wo fienti ebia ono oba na kra no na so ne be ma no montema say as say no obi a ya tum sa wore no egu. This is Babylon our na egu enti say our na egu a question is say we dependent ya our na egu no say we share odofo bi a obetimi aware na na. Now, so I wrote off on so between the application and Kwana. Well, Adaku, me say answer no, yes. A higher quanchen. Entian canina. Yes, or do see me no? Obey a day. Obetiti aha, no, edia a drew ama one. Name mom aha by crowd titi ye. Edison see a combination no. One number on one tone. Enya de obeka kire oda na ise de ope ade akokotoko no yeni na bro na konfo boni so watena konfo watena yarefo ho ama konfo papa abeto no yeni na bro entire adako de make am say what is sponsorship in the buy COS in the buy we a main applicant and now say we a dependent na so ko share bemba bi na so ni gene ho say die bibia sisi so kama dia me giran fon so e mo se ada ko menya ni say se mo hwa mo yes and say ye fi mo because you are taking liberties ese mujai it's not good say the panofo no enya no side gina ba bi no say o it's not good yenya isa de no ade ehu nya ye no yetu anabo de nani abre no ana ye boa no de ade wo no ana odie enya de kom de no obi anu sinifi no afafon na every question from Adam to Eve obeso gina phone so na o chirichiri go chire no owi o sinyame nhira o nyame nhyira wo ntua bills eye nipa nhyira nyame de fa nipa so etinye kakra betua ana ba be ye pepe akwakọ ni chitinsi so echi na afi onkrata ba be sei ebi me sade na aya na menti ase but reality ne se ade ehu hia ono wo ye de wo se ho mmre utu ho anamo enti so betina fie abogye ma koso gyem se maybe se nya bre no otu anamo no aba na be gina phone so na meti wo nsem na ma free advice na de ko uwi ase nyame nhyira o se nyame nhyira o no se electricity bill ba nyame nhyira o ne metua bill no nyame nhyira no de feni paso enti ebe shrem edu ba bia yema ye nimre na yenye serious uncle ato pesika koto inchefua dia di ni breakfast osi nyame nhyira o man is better free heaven ene insi bi mu sana etie ewu wiase enti babia anase ade ehu hia ye no yentu hu anamo na yentimi mfanye na yenye de na yenko yenim because ebebo ye nyina tiradako ana motie menkan medi dwumane besi anamo na afenye timi bie amatrofo notim ene ye were at least about 20 minutes na yemfa take phone calls ebo wa pepe tiradako me free edwaimu because enimu egume so no edoso na yese oba na se o kasa na wankọ a oji wani so saa so na akonya we enye bakofo akonya obi beko na obi suso aide aba enti abo wan pepepe ye didwuma na ye de ba na wie enti etienti ye de enya icheswa so pese ofra by all means ubetimi aide afre so pese ofra number ne so a number no eye 07538969589 and no so pese ofra number ne so a o TikTok so na pese o ba o ma invitation I will accept the invitation na contribution I no also ode idea also ode aba etimi nyamfa number no encourage na chikra no mahu se obi aba enti yemfa nipa no na yentie de ode ba na yenhwe kwan a yese befa so a yede beboa Ghana fo ne yenuanom nyina obi oba ye ho bia no yede mse be ya famudie e de aboa no enti eja bi aba eja abo eja enya ba bedru yenko na yenko fa no. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, I come to say
Nyankopon adom odaso e hira yen.
Amen. And I say, and I name church with the man.
Yes.
Now, but I pray the master media. I'm fan church. Muze mi yankubina. Waya wadia onu bi na ho. Ghana for yan kana sa wadia bia. Na se se oba ne yare. Oba no be 4 months ni otimi ko admini sisi. Enti akohu ne doctor say o person call retirement. When you kakra so call retirement. But also patch say ni pa oni ne ya wadia no. Akabe 8 months na kedi pa no nya indefinite. But so yes as well because the doctor can say okwa obenya investor credit. Just as the papa ko be ha no. Nti no bisa no say onye nde na so okay. Mo lawyer obala nti me bisa lawyer nti advice lawyer be ma no. Be ka che wa patch no ba no. Nti na me friend no be lawyer.
Okay, no problem. Universal credit means tested income. And to apply ya be ka say uokunu ane mi okunu. Se uokunu your friend is saying fa ni pay slips bra. And you know obe filling new application forms so do pay or the nipa pay slips account. Say or the can ho na so the kwa ombe your assessment. And to me assessment now ombe take into consideration be man so sika woje. Say emu do na say it's above the threshold omeka say you don't qualify. Say emu nyedu ono betimi manage universal credit. Now only says be man na bra buma obinye ska kakra bi. So bema bi ani na bra buma so singular I will nyeska ni bebrebe. But in this case now I may say a impossible tax. And you know obetimi apply but so the be money di income. Which in this case don't have money income. Don't have money income, not be money jiska kesia or make us a debi, you don't qualify. And so you come back to square one. Taka 8 months that's with me be an and also a option.
Because because no person person consider be man because send a work and so okoko ya o say no ka doctor prepare man nurse no hold on or best by doctor no be nti no be man na the man in kan ni so nke be ano but no say ano so wa bre ontimi kwa duma kwa say adwuma for friends on black 3 weeks doctor no so asa 4 weeks because the condition no doctor so permanent ko nti aye nema basa ya no nti say na work no so ba no betima twentwen so a ni na gina ba no so Nana okase yesi emrebu kruma se bia oba yare fo no ntimi ni kunu entra se bi man ntimi enko enni empaso abura se bi se yitim gina so gu awade na mse menye lawyer me bi sa lawyer be se bia sa de na ho a
aware de sebe se wo didi kra na se ekura bi twema ntimi gina so ja aware obeka se be ma na ye date na so ba na ye date tien de emfa ho eni de obegina so na mmom Senkrata sem esoso ka ho a ere betimi ase obi nkrata. Until that's how it is. And universal credit needed by all means betimi apply. Said sikana eno so a betimi amani bi. I say oh ye care calculation your income ni say normally no say na say the amount but because of say be money so ye adwuma ni ntino. Instead of maybe £100, you have £50. Yeah. And tell the SOBT, I know they no doubt. So universal credit. Na se be ma bo brabuma. Is kind of SOBT. Why?
COS no so say ebia o dependent. Na bia applicant no unhunu. Na bia waja awade se na wuka ya. We dependent unyo ba obetima wana.
Yes, wait me. Oya be mo your bo betimi as long as it's officer ni ntwe mu no e ho ni hia
na officer ni twem di anje enye djuma
ya twem de na do say guti
ya so la yo we dem da CP e kwa mo biaba
yes said I say da CP pacho mo me good line so no mbetimi amfre why telephone there we can take one at a time. TikTok we person akasa on fire.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Now, what you doing? They say.
Pacho from Eddie.
Eddie, okay. Eddie, uncle.
Pacho, but some question.
I can't go, Eddie.
Pacho, now me see. Me application 15 months and still no more frame. Still no me ban but still no more frame. I
unfortunately, unse me can parent route, you know. Say almost say omni service standard. And you know, enya won kwa na ato. Me client back 2 years in here. And you know, me dia hometie ama ese de ne MP abem. Ah ye hwe BBC. Man back de e 1.5 year. Eno se di MP ba ya o ma resolve. Ama o ma ja to me say ache dodo. Ento me compensation of £80. I say, "Oh, and to also be sending a check of £80 into a share anymore."
It's millions in Minabutro.
I mean, 1.5 year, it will move. To make us say, make us say, aye, 1 year and I saw the far lawyer so.
If man be so, lawyer be so, but I say, only that lawyer no be bad. Many families so no catch him. Oh yeah, ma. On one in here, there might be nearby by Bantema Sana. Me call ye media na. Say law we be day.
Bye.
By go Charlie 15 last year me trying to make so bet mama we be a remind letter be see you already want me just
okay, I mean 1.5 years is long time. You can do it yourself. Just go to Google and put in "they work for you."
Okay.
They work for you.
But who emphasize?
Me or Brixton, you know, capital of London.
Okay.
Capital of London.
That's right. Mama Nasri.
Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
Meba or minimum economical, meba or
So, any day.
Meba economical, meba or.
Okay, any day. Why? No worries.
Meba or pacho.
Okay, no worries, cry. Okay, T. Yeah, Fado. Pacho, so we are now before.
Aye.
Okay, yeah, Fado, you phone is on 3236. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, where do you say Brunio? Young Craig. I'm Pacho, I can say.
You just started the pay, lawyer.
Hey. Now, when I can say, I say, maybe. Okay. Vivian Bocoria.
Radia the lawyer.
Mammy, I created now, my name.
Mammy, Scottish point now, Scotland point now,
Yes, you're almost so far.
And you saw no way to my car. Money to my Aiko.
Yeah.
Say, what dear? Ye Coco, ye from now, ye sipping, pimping, ye could drip a bin and ye tree, and ye. Why won't you have everything ever? Now,
yes. Pepe.
Oh, no, Cassino. Oh, feeling free, no lawyer, that will bet you back. Oh, my goodness. I told you, be any to be I so.
Pepe.
You'll be in your breeze some now, so. I told you, be any to be I so not pressure. I said, Prince, maybe.
That's what
it's free. Mukon, yes, I yet. A cooney jumping, Manka Sanka. Everybody, I'm sure a very large and
easy cry.
Easy, not yet, when I'm okay, and you say, I know. When one go home, now, or make them ready the and say, I don't know, you know, I have my tree here. So they be now, we should be a one baby, a wager, not the doubt, so, oh, we're ready. There was a sounds of be a bedroom.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, bedroom. And did there run twice. Yeah, bedroom. Lawyer, let me be first say. The question they say, obey the sponsorship nearby. Only no main applicant. Now, a quadruple baby. Now, dependent on aunt, not Scotland, but now, I'm saying England. And baby, you German, also that one. And you should name some no doors, fine. But to me, real mamma, just say, BBI come on the side. Now, your main applicant, home office support show say the body they buy and the company would buy or watching on my license to operate to man 3 months. Now 3 months now the man and or sankunya 20 hours while letting you be in sick. Now on money 20 or money 20 or money 20 or money 20. Now I could do baby or yes so one na one man sponsorship the what's not say kakakaya boswa no beji oji. The problem as to say a woman is say occasionally home office support so a man 44 hours. It's I don't know home office support share what they are in a man 5 years. They say we are back to square one. It may be a home. Now, which the other could be our missing your cutanity, then to no fund. They say home office is forcing so on your you won't man and say them a woman or more come no. Sorry, say, Bill, a pajama woman, my home office support to say, or more year to my tea, or must start to 80% be a weird man, a weird man. And I may be say, maybe you can't bend so now you get me after swap. You could take 5 years your tissue on come back. Obey then, and now can't bend so no bit me after. So 5 years you could take a bit to me up one. I went to me a year because they say why is stressful. Sometimes I can't look at his face. What you say? So what you say? Why do you say about the nature?
A boom.
So waiting on my mom, or even though we love to eat, she did everything, but and queenie, and business the part pension. They said we book appointment to one day. To the embassy said, "But our day."
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Book you. I want to say, hey, over.
Aye.
Did I say that I'm going to slot you or slum so? You do almost.
Okay. I mean, a difficult position for anyone to be in. Anna, enye ononkwane wo sa dilemma we mu. On air pa. Na since no sponsorship be brede kitomokwa. It's just a matter of time before it be collapse. Say home of some make a decision. Unfortunately, mahumbi modia they went to Inland Revenue HMRC to check employment payment record because say ofo be employment na say what take taxes any national insurance o de come HMRC and he say why see women paying 40 hours maybe 20 hours in puna de mana ombe hu say wokwa because a paye where exactly so the amount of job work amount of hours no your home tax is udua and he says certificate of sponsorship and also we 41,000 now say question with tax now tax what for the whole year 2,000 pounds a fake o kako renew we ya oho bechero they will simply just refuse you and he said the kitana na a time bomb. It's just a matter of time before say it blows over. Now the question is a day no betting ya home. Say no either say one first obeying genuine sponsorship on bet me finding the proper job hours and everything. That is one option. Option 2, well you're lucky. That's when your Scottish girl be so any now say a British passport and also to me jina crown so edgy. Option 3, ABS say we sure bafu be na say current marriage, you know. Bakotia enya adwuman na che say ware na gu na so timi ware a eno so obetimi idea agina so age ana say just say 5 years no watimi wave ni we na wa complete 10 years lawful stay eno so obetimi age ana say was spend 20 years here now wire application on unlawful and lawful stay for 20 years. These are the only options, unfortunately.
Yeah, I am making money to me and pull it out. And now say, me to me money, and you say, oh, you must fit direct or where me back here. So, me can say, oh, you been going, I don't know how my daughter will take me for as a mother. And when the air is in I don't know my confused. Because all your man who see so many of us is here. So I hear the Marco lawyer as spending you.
Any family, I mean, a bomb pie, young baby.
My a bit confused.
The reality is, you know, options I mentioned, you know, I warn is only one of the options.
Yeah.
There are other options, and so I can't want them.
Other options, and so other options, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's me actually was a semi-boom.
And to the Mefro, why Mefro?
Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, lawyer.
Hi, good morning. NDK.
Yeah, the patch for my
Yamiadum Boko, that's way.
The patch of me problem can create be a person in Bisa.
I find out.
Me that say it's about me the COS nearby. Na ni BBI juma. The main applicant need to baby, and I submit me baby. You revoke your license there, but nyame adom ye ntwe mu. It be checking me share code me BBI juma. Or right to work. It me the juma. You my 5 years. So far me got 3 years. Now say you did a different law about COS na year 2023 no. Me person bisa say so far as obi atine baby me timi ye madwuma ono so tine baby obi me right to work ye adwuma me timi wie me 5 years na me cooperate for me indefinite se me nko me main applicant na answer.
Okay, visa na edi ama no a conditional visa.
Okay.
Ana conditional visa no okay no say a dependent. So by definition, you know, your visa no is only visa because it's dependent on your relationship with your husband. And it's a kobane say only evidence say your relationship no is ongoing and is genuine. A do indefinite because they will ask for evidence of cohabitation for the past 5 years unukunu atine kromwa. And you know, send ye one and at all cost no. I was say unukunu ne eti address back so. Me sure say me can say what you see.
Me try. But you be atine maybe so.
Enti ya friend no na dwa to akra ko dwa to na whatever it is bia no. The here ne say mu evidence e chere say what address back so. Pacho what you see.
Me try.
Akwa say o maame awo na yesi wunu ani. Eye de na hu say ye wunu because ye ka kire o. Enti tam ne so na evidence e chere say ye ti bomu di a. Asem ne so atwa.
Okay, the menene be kasa hwe.
A very important one. It's so many abrepa.
But me pacho yeah so far as asisi ano yentimi nye me nkrata ne ho bibia so montimi ntwem mo montimi nye ne hwe.
Say sponsorship no. Your friend is saying what happened is say you try employer ne sponsorship ma. It's just a matter of time before say mo share employer na say no mbenya letter say mo so visa no ya mo 60 days 90 days whatever mo say barbecue but obu a we treat me yi letter no it never comes. I know your home office failure ana omo esa de no but I likely say ebeba a matter of time and to be who say eja no boba sa na no people be the nurse before said abone ni deba
it me pacho me situation wait me enya obi ene na ye nkrata ware a ewa ha.
Yes, so we share be maybe na wo do no so do na wo se mbe ware a yes we betimi aware eno kra no sebe se ba ko ye Ghana ni na mo de mo pembrofo aware mo ye traditional it se me no ada committee yi na me se me fiefo na ya aware na mamia e fiefo betimi ya aware na e de nkrata na bremi a ye fe na customary marriage by proxy and also with me gina so e de ajo ni ma wa ha
Ni pacho yo.
Alright, that's it.
Tell us and Mr. Pacho na ye se me ni de menene aware abaha ni ntwetwem.
I know the move became tintonta, yes. Because I won't come na sa ko aribiema na kwese we do full penny. Ade wa ware unjaye o sa ware biem obaba ko we mama nwe na pese ode omko the same time dia. E ba ne sa na e ko ba.
Lawyer Pacho o number me ni mo number o.
Okay, so we ko profile this one.
Me check me team Brixton there ye me kwan pa.
355 one stop. And one say about the rate.
Me wo hopa me ti aba. Pacho o number no aya na wa de atoso na ma atimi apeke.
Okay, so ko your profile this one your number ni na wo ho. But at the same time, no, wait me at Google Justice and Law Solicitors. I don't know your website. Numbers are penny directions. BB our honor. Why? Yeah, that's it. Okay, no problem. Hello. 72. Okay, uncle. What about Krumwa?
Me banama me no the refugee ya man 5 years na me pese me hu say meti na me ban so na me so meti me dey ayen krata na
no beti
ba cho das
na ese amanfo ye careful so se u ko gina wo baso a enye se wa wo benti automatically no ese man krata na atime kromwa e wo se u prove say Akrani life and you intend to continue to play a vital role in the child's life. That means Akrani Suku Awoko, Akrana Sorry Awoko, Akrani Jeep Awoko, as a father, you are involved in all these activities. Ebasana ebwa emetminya onkrata easy. Why?
Oh, okay.
Okay,
that's it. Application. I know how say you need time limit. Oh yeah, at the back.
Sa pepe, one of those applications. But having said that, you know, ayana obiani ni tia ordinam new year say. Ebimu de ode call ya ne aba. Ebim so bi ekoshema. Ase ye tusi. Enye easy. Ube breast anse na aba. Enti no they make me aka and say, oh yeah, na so do mpa ebo ata echiri. Wa fe wo nananom. Ese wo mfo mo honhom. Ene o mutumi. Emedi wachi. Na obre ewo obi ma so. Sa pepe. Bose ekwa enche na aba. Because the other can I mean a bemo. Ti starting program no, me say ewi ase nipa bia your spirit. Obia kita spirit. Na soul. Ano na ebimuni. Enti no wo de wan kasa wo gidie edo beko wanim. Simple, johudi. Na bibia wo ye bia no, fa koma pa. Ene adwene pa. Fata echiri. Na do bibia be yenkoso ama. Why? Okay. I'm for the good so far. You how many minutes? Hey, one input abo. Yenfa last caller na yenfa emra na wie. So we person fra by all me so betimi afre. You remember 5 minutes for ba so. Na yetimi akọ. I'm for the good phone so far but of the phone no, I can only take one phone call at a time. Madam Georgina Ama Sa Cheneboa. Wedi obikaye yema yako wunua afrimu mensaka message na wa nitua ye tweme abasa baby a ntina am adweme bia na adwene no aye hye tina ese bitimi frɛw na me ma yako na eja mama yako ni sisi ahwa na asa akwati afa so ntina wedi se eyamamre mu a ene na hye se ne ya no eyamamre mu so a ene na ade a kyeme eja bere de Mr. Kwaku Debra ye chiachia baby a wo bia etiefo mu nyina so ye chiachia me damase dwumedie no one no enya abo ewie enti no mpese ye de eba na wie ye Nyankopon e de che ya next week ye besa ye de ye besa ahia biem Mame Ruth Bosompem mete won kan che baby a wo bia so me chia me de mi se nyamiadom mu nyina mo ho eye de eye Hey, Mr. Kwashi, also Oshaho, when you say you are watching me live and colored, maybe a more be a so me chiamo. Many young people also edda obi piarasi. Someone will say, the ye yenano, and yet your hoarding, and quani de your war and perform with tie chippy. Mudomum piebo, and umusun, a dear a tie chip. You may make it donko, and also so ye chiano. Bia wo shebia mate won kan me information on to them am time kakra na me working on it for you why mehu enyese bi hu mehu pa da eja edu ba bi adwuma we ni jana so den and I make kind of justice and law so there no matter how bad the fire is we will still put it off you know that is the way it is and you know yeda munyina masi nyankopon enhira obi biara na nyankopon ede na wotwe ne echeya ye de ye besai ide Justice and Lord Amoti and Kano Sopeso information about us on our website www.justiceandlawsolicitors.com with information in our your telephone number is also 0207 993 5976. That is our landline. Obese ufribesi mobile this one 07538 969 589. Now your office hours is your Monday to Friday from 9:30 to 5:30. Ofra obeyai. Ofra mpona de way nya message and send us a text, send us an audio. na me ya adom na se emrebema ye be throw back medamu nyina amase odisika abrantie onemia etino mami njamo na yakopon enkamo sela somebody say shalom odisika bente odisika bente odia samba mama ye beshamila odia samba mama ye beshamila ejanisi yebira kwana ejanisi ono yebira kwana sana bebra kokuno sana bebra kokuno ya musume mwana sumi sigara ya musume mwana sumi sigara enya bright disapele enya bright disapele enya bright disapele
Disappear.